What's up, guys? This is Alex Melon from Kaiju Island, and we're back after a long hiatus because we're just really busy with life and actually do things. So, just want to say that we had an awesome time at G-Fest, and we're glad to have met everybody there, even though I didn't mingle with people as much as Humphrey did, which Humphrey's working the camera right now because he's kind of down and out for the count. Either way, had a great time at G-Fest, and we kind of decided we needed to start making more videos because we kind of got a little busy and flustered. But regardless, today we're going to be doing a review of the YMSF Megalon, and this Megalon is a lot more detailed than, it's a different figure completely than the Bandai Megalon, but we'll get into that later. But this is the YMSF Megalon. This is a 6-inch figure, and he's pretty much in scale with any Bandai 6 inches that you would have set on the shelf, only he's much more detailed. Where you can find this figure, I know this is actually my cousin's figure, Humphrey's, but he found him on eBay, and his price range was around $100. So he's a decently pricey figure, but $100 in the Godzilla figure world isn't like too crazy. Before I go any further, a lot of people don't know what YMSF is, and a lot of people kind of think, oh, it's only Bandai or SH Monster Arts, which is also Bandai, but SH Monster Arts or X Plus. YMSF is like a small family-owned kind of company that make figures. So they're kind of like not really too well known, but their figures are like insane and they're incredible. And all their figures look really nice. I have the YMSF Gabbro, and I'm pretty sure if you've seen any of the other YouTube videos, then you've seen them before, and they're actually, from what I know, the only company that's made a Gabbro figure, and Gabbro is like really underrated. In my opinion, as a monster, he looks awesome, and I think that having that figure was great. So I guess we'll get into detail now, the detail on this figure. Alright, so initial detail, this Megalon looks really awesome, and all of his coloration and everything is really good compared to the Bandai figure. So off the bat, I mean, he looks insane, and I mean, before you even get a close look at him, he looks incredible. His model's base looks like more off the game, like Godzilla Saved the Earth, Godzilla Unleashed, than it is off the movie. In comparison to the Bandai figure's colors are, I mean, I know for the time, they're probably, I mean, I for one personally like vintage looking figures, so I actually think this figure looks really impressive. But actually, just in comparison, if you want like a figure that just looks really, really awesome and just looks really true to the character, then this Megalon is like what you're looking for. Also, his pose is a lot more articulate and actually looks really nice on the shelf. It looks like badass. So either way, the coloration is not actually an airbrush. It looks more like actual hand painting, and actually has a pattern for the wings, which looks really nice. But the coloration just looks like it took time on its own compared to the Bandai Megalon, which looks about airbrushed. The tail has really nice segmentation in it. Looks like a clump of poop. And his spines on the tail actually are really spiky and really nice looking. And this Megalon, the Bandai Megalon, you can see in comparison is they just kind of said whatever and threw it down. The head and everything, it just looks natural. Everything looks like, you don't really see too much segments where they put the figure together other than your natural places like the arms and the legs. You have a lot of detail with the scales. The scales look really nice, and the drills themselves look really nice too. They put a lot of detail into everything. I for one, since looking at this figure, one thing that I like about this figure a lot is the arms. The arms look really nice. They've got like a lot of detail. They just look pretty awesome. So that's one thing I really like about the figure is the detail on the arms and everything else. This is the closed mouth version of this figure, so the mouth is closed instead of open. Obviously, it's not that hard to fucking understand. He has antennae which look really nice, and I mean just even the big antenna on his head where he shoots his beam out looks really awesome. And the eyes look like little peanuts, but they look dank, and they're colored in really nice. So really, I really think that this figure has like amazing detail. Like everything about it just looks really awesome. Like I said, comparing this figure to the Bandai figure, the Bandai figure looks really nice, and we can do a separate review of the Bandai figure in the near future. But another thing I think about the Bandai figure is the proportions look kind of off. Like his head is massive for his body, and I mean that's not really too much of a problem, but it's just it looks kind of funky. I mean, in my opinion. But it looks awesome. Like, it's a figure that I really want. And I believe I actually got one at G-Fest. I'm not completely sure. I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure you have that figure.
So, yeah. Either way, so that's about it for detail. I mean,
that's usually what YMSF does. They do really good detail.
Yeah. So for detail wise, I mean, the detail just looks awesome. I mean, if I had to give it a one out of 10 rating, I'd probably, I mean, honestly, in my opinion, I'd give it a higher scale, probably like a 9.5. I mean, it looks really awesome. I don't really have any problems with it, any qualms with it. I mean, I could say it could probably have like a little bit more color, but honestly, the Megalon really didn't have too many colors on his own.
A little bit more like dust stains or something like that.
So yeah, detail wise, that'll conclude it. He just looks really awesome. He has so much detail. Now I can just kind of give you like just like an up close look. Let's see, you want to focus in probably. Alright, so for sizing, they're all 6-inch variants. We got the 6-inch YMSF Megalon, obviously. We've got the Bandai Japan Jet Jaguar, and then we've got the Bandai Japan Memorial Box 74 Godzilla, which is actually in the movie, it was 73 Godzilla, but this is 74. Now, sizing-wise, these aren't really to scale from the movie. Well, actually, I mean, Megalon's kind of hunched over in this figure variant, but he's actually slightly taller than Jet Jaguar and Godzilla. And, I mean, so that's just figure comparison-wise. But, yeah, sizing, I mean, is basically just 6-inch.
I'd actually say that the Bandai Megalon is better sizing than the YMSF one.
Yeah.
For that. But we don't know.
But he's fucking fat and huge as fuck.
But all the YMSF Godzillas are hunched over, so maybe that it works well with that Megalon when they make a 73 figure, hopefully.
Backflip. Alright. Yeah, but that's basically all really for sizing. I mean, there isn't really much to it. It's just a 6-inch figure, and you know, movie-wise, you know, it's probably to scale without him being hunched over. Not completely sure. Wouldn't be able to tell because I can't bend his fucking legs or nothing. Rarity, it's kind of a weird thing with YMSF because only really, I mean, they're not necessarily like rare. They're kind of just expensive, and I mean, you can pretty much find them if you really want to, and every now and then there might be like a shortage of them, there might not be too many, but eventually they'll resurface. When they first initially released, there's only one person who really sells them, but you can pretty much find them from other people if you really wanted to, or somebody might buy them and sell them, you know, elsewhere. Regardless, they're not really rare, but they kind of are at the same time. It's kind of like a weird line. Unlike Bandai figures, there's some Bandai figures that are just like a fucking pain in the ass to find, and if you do find them, they're going to be like hell of expensive. But these are like, they kind of start off being expensive anyway, and I mean, some of them aren't really too expensive, but rarity, it's kind of like they are rare, but at the same time, they're kind of like released at the price of them being rare for, you know, just because they're not really made.
It's a fixed price, sort of. Wouldn't you say?
They're not really made like in bulk like the Bandai figures are. They're not really like, hey, we're just gonna like rehash these, you know, like Bandai does. So yeah, I mean, rarity is kind of just like, it kind of is, but it's kind of just made that way, if you kind of understand. But yeah, either way, I mean, and there's multiple variations of the figure too. This isn't the only one. This is the movie accurate version. They have different ones that are sort of similar to theater exclusives, but I mean, that's like with almost every figure in the world. So yeah. Basically, that pretty much covers this review of the YMSF Alright, so basically this covers the review of the YMSF Megalon. Sorry if this review wasn't like all the greatest. I mean, I haven't done any reviews in like forever, and even when I did do reviews, they were like still kind of like, shit sucks. So eventually I'll get better. And
we'll get around to it. We're both gonna be posting reviews soon, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, we'll be posting more content now soon. We've kind of realized we kind of left our subscribers hanging, and we kind of realized that we need to post more. Even though it's hard, both having a job, I mean, me having, you know, a career and trying to get my life together as an adult, it's kind of like, so, you know, I don't work at McDonald's or anything. This has been Kaiju Island, and this concludes our review of the Bandai Megalon. Please stay tuned, subscribe for more content. I know the last video we posted was like 4 months ago from our G-Fest compilation. We'll be at G-Fest 26, and we'll also be doing videos about that again, and I'll try to get some better video this time. But yeah, I mean, we're just going to try to post more content, and we're sorry we haven't really been posting too much, but we'll definitely be getting to it now. As always, be sure to follow our Instagram at Kaiju Island. That's where it kind of all started, at Kaiju_Island. That's where our whole Kaiju social media thing became around. And our Instagram's very professional. We always try to keep up with news. We always post nice pictures of figures, post our collections, have discussions with people. Right now we're almost around 1,500 followers. So we've worked really hard for these followers. Never buy fans. So we'd like to actually keep that up and have you guys support us and feel like we've actually earned something. So thank you for watching the review. Tips and tricks on how to get better at reviews are always welcome. Criticism, everything of that nature. Just don't tell me to stop cursing because I'm not going to, you pieces of shit. This has been Kaiju On, and thank you for watching.